to my channel. Now it has been a hot minute since I last recorded anything. It probably won't seem like that long for you guys because I had a video go up last week, but since I've actually filmed anything, it has been a couple of weeks. So if you guys are like me and you kind of enjoy some of these little casual chatty videos that sometimes booktubers will put out, I am a huge fan of them. A huge fan. I love it when they're like, I've got a cup of tea, you should also go and get a cup of tea, and we can sit down and have a cup of tea together. So I invite you guys to go and make yourself a cup of tea, or coffee, or a glass of water, whatever it is that you prefer to drink. Come back, pause the video, come back and sit with me, and we'll have a little bit of a chat about our goals for 2017. We've got conflicting seasons here. I've got my very Christmassy, enormous tea mug, but I also, in some sort of vain attempt to make spring come faster, have put out some lovely, very springy flowers instead of the evergreens that I used to have in that bowl. I had a couple of goals in 2016 that I wanted to kind of review and go over. One is I wanted to complete the 2016 Pop Sugar Reading Challenge. I know I talked about it several times in other videos. I did not complete it, and to be honest, I'm okay with that. Some of the categories I just really had no interest in reading, and I wasn't going to force myself to read something that I had no interest in reading. But I did complete kind of a great number on that list. I won't be doing another list unless you guys have a specific list that you think would be really good to read this year if they've got some interesting categories. I set my reading goal at 30. Now that seemed really low to me, and that seemed really low compared to what a lot of other people had been reading. But if we think about my reading recently, in 2015, I think I read a total of 12 books. And that was, it was just an abysmal reading year for me. So in 2016, I decided to be a little bit more realistic with myself, and I put it at 30. I think for 2015 I had mine at 45 or 50. And obviously I missed that by a country mile. So my goal in 2016 was 30, and I actually managed to read 49. So I did manage to pass my reading goal by a wide margin, actually, by about 20 extra books. No, I didn't manage to make that a nice round of 50 books last year. I was pretty tempted to just pick up like a graphic novel or a very short book, but the last couple days in the year were crazy for me. Tea break. For 2017, I have set the bar at 45, which is obviously lower than the amount of books that I managed to read last year. I am hoping that if I slowly increase the number of books that I am setting myself up to read, I will eventually get to how much I want to be reading in a year. I would love to be able to read 100, 130 books in a year, just because there are so many, guys, there are so many books. But I know if I set myself a goal of 100 books this year, there is no way I will ever make it. I would be obsessed with checking like how far I am in the goal. I would be obsessed with seeing how many books behind I was, or what should my pace be on certain books if I'm going to make the goal. So by doing 45, I know that I read less than a book a week. I know there's going to be weeks where I don't finish anything, and there's going to be weeks that I finish, 3 or 4 books. We'll see how we're doing mid-year, and if it looks like I'm going to be closing in on the goal awful quick, then I will up it. If we look at other goals that I have for the year, I've really only got a few. I've only got a few things that I know that I want to try and get a focus on, because I think if I set myself any hard goals, it's just gonna dissolve. First vague rule is I want to read more nonfiction. I read 3 nonfiction books last year, and 2 of them were memoirs, and they don't really count as nonfiction. If I were to set myself a number, I would love to have a nonfiction book a month. I don't know how realistic that is given how much I read nonfiction now. My second little vague resolution is going to be that I don't have any TBRs. I don't usually set myself TBRs, but last year I tried and it doesn't work. I made a TBR jar at one point, that fell through. I'm much better having books on a shelf and just picking them up when I feel like picking them up. I think when I gave myself the Man Booker list to read this year, that was about as much TBR as I could take, and I have not even finished it. And my final little resolution for my bookish goals is that I'm gonna count everything that I read. Last year, specifically in the beginning of last year, I read so many picture books and so many middle grade books just because it was part of my job, and I didn't count any of those towards my goal. Because to me, the picture books were in some way less of a book, and I think I need to stop being so hard on what I consider literature. I also read like a couple of little romance novels, and I read like some silly cozy mystery books, and I didn't count any of them. So if we're being honest, even when I say that I've read 49 books, I've probably read over 50. Just simply because of the amount of picture books and middle grade books that I was reading for my job. This year, I'm gonna count everything because I really want to just have a record of everything that I've read. And right now it is not a very accurate record because there are 2 years that I worked as a children's librarian that are just completely unaccounted for. And all of the books that I read while I was there, or, you know, did so I can, you know, help people with their book choices, I didn't count any of them. As for personal goals, I don't have many. On this channel, I want to keep doing book videos. I want to keep doing my daily follow along vlogs because I just have a lot of fun filming and making those. And then my other channels, I want to revive the gaming channel because the gaming channel has been kind of lacking in content for months, and I would like to get back on there and get back on a schedule of putting videos up at least 3 times a week. It's a lot of work to put up a video a week on this channel, 3 videos a week on the gaming channel, and then I also obviously have my main channel, which I put out a video about every other week. I would like to get back in the habit of doing all of those videos, you know, do all the things. I would like to continue to get better at After Effects and really learn how to kind of correctly integrate things into a scene, really conquer After Effects, really figure out what I'm doing there, really be able to say I know that program, because right now I know it, but like I want to be able to be like, no, yes, I understand After Effects and all of the things that go into it. Anyway, that is my really long and chatty bookish goals and like a little bit of sprinkling of booktube and that sort of thing goals for the year. I hope you guys are having a really great start of your year. Leave me messages down below about your bookish resolutions or link me your videos also down below. Let's chat about the new year, what we want to get done, and I will talk to you guys very soon with another video. Bye!